It's time for the transfer window episode, my friends. Let's go! All right, my friends. We got, end of season awards. Oh, hold on a second. All right, my friends, different screen. I'm taking it back in time. Taking it back in time to the end of season awards. I was stunned, my friends. Stunned. Let's go. This is your last chance to put in who you think is the fans player of the season, young player of the season, and the signing of the season, my friends. Let's go. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Taking the player of the season is Giroud? What? Over Viviani and Serge? How? Is it the assist? I mean, he's on a 7-1-2. He played in 34 starts, 7 subs, or what is that? 41 games total with 5 goals and 14 assists. And yet somehow that is better than Serge playing in 48 games with a .01 less average rating and being involved, if my math is right, in more goals with 18 goals and 8 assists, and Colombani in much less time with a much higher rating with 17 goals and 11 assists. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Like, even Jallo, right? 44 total games, 715, so .03 higher, with 1 less goal and 2 less assists. So, like, maybe the assist is a little bit higher, but the average rating's higher, right? And he played in more games just by a fuzz. I'm not upset. I like Giroud. Like, I'm not upset. I'm just shocked. And then, like, Viviani is down here. How is Viviani at 47 games on a 7-1-2 with a goal and an assist? What? Now, okay, in the league, no, that's what it's showing us. You know, Giroud in the Europa League had a 6.86, and the Coppa Italia had a 7.56. Like, I'm just a little. I think they got it wrong. The fans love him. That's great. I'm happy for him. I'm surprised Giroud is top and Viviani second. Like, neither of those were in my top 3. You know, from just looking at it. Signing of the season, Arturo, 10 million. That's going to be based off of he's worth 31. And he's probably going to get sold. Like, someone's going to buy him. Like, he's going to be bought underneath us. And okay, so we'll give Colombani a little bit of a nugget. Like, hey, man, you're a young player. You got an injury. Let's give you an award, make you feel a little bit better. But I would love to know right now, if you'll pause, what are your thoughts on that? What? Crazy. Overall best 11. We add Oriol into the back. Or no, he's a sub. Wow. Colombani's still up top. Ida's still there. Again, they got to be here long enough to earn that spot. You know, makes sense. Now let's do the commercial summary while you are stunned. I'm just curious if you're as stunned as I am. Let's go. All right, here's our commercial summary. Sponsorship up, right? 1-year deal, 3.1 million. That's an extra 300 grand. Total new deals of 4.2 million. So sponsorship goes up 900 grand, we'll call it. Corporate hospitality up a whole 0.02 million. That's an interesting way of putting that. Match day commercial up 3 grand. Woo, 3 grand. Broadcast revenues way up because we made that run in the Europa League. Nice, 7 million more, or 6.5. Competition prize money down, which is a bit disappointing, you could say. But Serge, Angelini, Colombani wearing the 43, Jallo, and Viviani. No surprises there in terms of top merch. Speaking of top merch, you can get a GHG mug on the Teespring store in the description for $14 US. Plus shipping, my friends. Top merch, hashtag LaserBeans. Should we have a Laser Bean mug or t-shirt? Let me know in the comments, or a doink. I'm thinking about it. All right, my friends, it's time for the transfers. I want to show you something first. I kind of feel a little hard done by Football Manager because end of May, early part of June in the transfer window, like right at the end of last season, the projected period end was we were going to fail financial fair play because we are, my friends, hemorrhaging money. We're spending a lot on wages. We have to kind of keep up, like, doing what we're doing in the Champions League and Europa League and, like, hopefully make it to the next round. Champions League is definitely going to help from a TV revenue and from a competition like group stage revenue standpoint, but it was like negative 5.4 or something. I was like, oh no. And so we started getting aggressive, and then like a week later, the money came in for, oh, you're going to make TV revenue of this, and like whatever. Like we got paid some cash monies, or alerted that we're getting paid cash money, something like that. Hold on a second. Yeah, let's look here. I can't find it, but like at one point we were at negative 2.4 after we made some shifts projected, but it goes to show me that like we have to kind of keep this up. And really, I think if we could sock away some money and ask for a new stadium to where like we aren't doing a ground share, and hopefully it's bigger, more tickets sold, right? We're kind of limited to that, whatever it is, 21,000 or so. That's impacting our match day revenue. So like we're getting Champions League, we're almost selling the stadium out to season ticket holders. So like, let's expand, right? Or not expand. Let's build a new one. That'd really help out the club. So that dictated some of the changes we had. I'm just going to show you. We've had some outs, my friends. We've had some outs. We have sold Theo and Perrin. Those are the two big ones, okay? Mateus Lucchese, thank you for your support on patreon.com/grayhairgaming, has gone. He's worth 1.2 to Body, I think, is how you say it, making 4.9. Good for him. Theo, we've sold to Venenzia, straight up 2 million. My thinking is, he's not getting any younger. He doesn't enjoy a big match, like really doesn't enjoy a big match. From a left back standpoint, he's behind Grandi. We have Klug, or Klug, whatever his name is, Marian. And you know, he's now valued at 3.5. At the time, he's worth 2.3. So I put a little bit of a discount on there just to get rid. Clears up 45 grand in wages. Because again, we were like, whoa, we got some problems from financial fair play. So that helped out a little bit. You might argue against me with Perrin, but like he was 2.5, 3-star, wasn't going to get really any better, and had really just like, I mean, look at this. This is last season. If you start in the summer, right? 5 days, 5 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 7 days, 2 weeks. So like he was never able to really get in a flow, in my opinion. 6.87 in the league. 6.9 in 4 starts and 2 subs in Continental, 2 cup subs for a 6.3. Just like, he was fine, but we don't want fine, do we? We don't want fine. And he was on decent wages, but I was just like, it's time. So we sold him. Again, we had some offers with like, we pay, you know, wages forever, and it like eats up all the transfer value. That was the thing I had to look up, because we did have Sheffield United coming in for Oriole, because I did try to test the waters with Oriole, but because his contract is until 2033, they wanted us to pay 72 grand in wages. And I literally stopped and Googled and figured out, oh, that means we would pay 72 grand in wages through 2033, not like the first year of his contract, the whole time. Well, guess what? That's like the entire amount of what he's worth. So it's like, well, guess we're keeping him unless somebody comes in with a better offer. So we got the same thing with Perrin, with clubs wanting us to pay wages. They gave us 6.75. He was worth like 6.5 or 7, something like that. It was right around his value. It's less than we paid. Disappointing. It is what it is. We've had some youngsters go on loan again, including Marius. He's gone on loan to Catania. Yeah. He's had 2 starts and a sub in non-competitive matches on a 6.97. Enjoy. My thinking with Marius, let's go back to him. He's kind of, right, if we're keeping Jallo, he's now behind all of our regular starters, Jallo and Locke. And last season, he got 1 whole substitute appearance. So, like, he needs game time. So, like, we've loaned him, get him some game time. It's kind of a, hey, see how he does. If he doesn't do well, we'll just cut him loose. But he's worth 350 grand. So we may see how the first third of the season goes and offer him a contract extension to see if he'll stick around. But I think he needs game time. I think he has potential to be a deep line playmaker for us, but he needs a lot more game time. I think it's more of a long-term project. But Marius, thanks for your support on Patreon. We've also loaned out Rashid Bakali, the left winger, who looks pretty good. He's not, I don't love seeing this. Like, you get loaned out and immediately start falling apart. 6.4 in the Serie C Cup. Not great start there, friends, you could say. And then we've loaned this. Who is this? Wait a minute. You bought a guy for $2 million over here and you're loaning him for 40 grand a week or a month over here? What's happening? So let's go through these. We've raided unintentionally Kopenhagen. I didn't even really remember, to be honest with you, that they were both from there. So we've bought René Gall, a Danish 17-year-old fullback, 4-star potential. Okay, he's worth 3 grand. We paid whatever it is, 2.1 million. A little bit more than this value, but now he can back up Marion, Grundy and Marion, depending on who goes where, right? He needs game time, but he's fairly sporting. Like, I'm not loving this, but I think he's learning Italian. I don't think he knows Italian. Yeah, so like, he may be a little slow to start, but like, I didn't want to go below the budget and go spend like 30 million on players. Again, my plan right now is like, can we stash away some cash and build a stadium? Because I think that's kind of the next step for the club. Like, we have to maintain that top 4, be that top 4 team, keep raking in the Champions League money, see if we can make a run in the Champions League, get to a knockout round. That'd be amazing. At least get 3rd in the group, go to the Europa League, do the same thing, keep the TV revenues up, keep plugging away without having to. Like, the other alternative is like, we sell Koulibaly or Surge and we immediately try and reinvest and find another player. But I want to try and keep them around for a little bit. We got a young squad, but see if we can invest in getting that stadium. So kind of going for those more like value picks, right? And I think he has the potential, right? He's already a 7 on crossing and dribbling. He's 7, like he literally just turned 17. So when we bought him, he was 16, or he was about to turn 17. Like, it's not like he's 17 about to go 18. Like, young player. But also, with us having the group stage, gonna have a chance to get him some games. So I'm pretty excited about him and giving him opportunity, aside from being 5'3". Details, you could say. But with the contract, if he plays 10 games, he goes up 700 a week. He goes up to 5,500 after 20 games. He gets a yearly wage rise. It was like a pretty basic. I was like, done. Like, I'm not even gonna argue with him about this. Like, let's freaking go. So we spent some good money on him. You know, it's not like 2 million is nothing, but it's not like 20 million. You're like, well, the next one's 10 million. Please hold. Gabriel Bon, 2 million rising to 2.5. Please tell me you think that's a good buy. He's valued at 3.5, 18 about to turn 19. I think he's a value pickup. I think he could be really, really good. He's getting starts in the under 21 Euros on a 7.45. 13 caps, 9 goals. Again, I know it's under 21, but like, still, we're paying him 20 grand a week, which is a lot, but he's resolute. And my thinking here, we could have kept him. He's technically our 3rd best striker. We got Ernesto taking up a non-EU spot. We want to use him. This kid's younger. He's 18. And I think it's going to be more important that he gets 30 games this season rather than 5 starts and 8 subs, right? That type of a situation. So when we went to buy him, we told him, and it goes up to 27.5 if he gets 10 international. If he's a starter for Denmark, if he gets, or a substitute, if he's playing for the national team at a senior level, I'm worth giving him. I think it's worth giving him a $7,500 or €7,500 a week raise. We give him a pretty decent loyalty bonus, whatever, long-term deal. But we told him, we're going to loan you out, like, to enhance your development. And he was like, gravy, love it, thanks. Well, we've loaned him out to Empoli, and the reason I chose Empoli, because we had other options, and he was a little like, let's see if anybody else comes in. But Empoli's gone up and down. It's not like they're that mid to low Serie B team. Like, they're a pretty good team. They're good enough to come up, not good enough to stay up, but like, if we can keep him playing, he could help get them up, right? So regular starter, not important player, but regular starter. He's on like what is that? Okay, they've got a ton of players. Goodness me. So you can tell he's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th highest paid player at the team. So like, they have incentive to use him. They're paying his full wages, and I did the math. I was like, this time I literally did the math and was like, okay, he's worth 3.5 million. If we divide that by 12, not 52, 12 months, that's 291,000 a month. And I'm like, no one I don't think is going to pay that. I tried. And so I was like, if we did 40 grand a month for 12 months. That's 480 grand. That's about 25% of what we paid. So we're getting a return on our investment. In 1 year, we're getting 25% back, and he's developing. And if they don't play him, we're going to make more. So again, it's not like we're getting the full value for him, but if we, I kind of look at it like if we were wanting that, then we would have just sold him, right? Like, or not that we would have signed him and sold him, but I think you get what I'm saying. So like, hey, it's worth 2, or we paid 2.1, could go 2.5. We're going to get 500, so 20 to 25% of his value in the first year, and getting him game time with a team that has bounced up and down at the top of Serie B and the bottom of Serie A. I think it's a good deal. I thought about keeping him around, but I think it's more important at 18 going on 19. We get him some starts, get him going. I'm pretty excited about him. I don't know if you could tell. So that's where that loan fee comes in. And then also, right, like 480 grand when you've got 17 mil, but like when your projection is pretty low, 480 grand is something to sneeze at. We took a friendly, Borussia Dortmund approached us for a friendly and offered us 675 grand. I wasn't planning on doing it. And I was like, 675 grand, done. Like, thanks. So like with that and his loan fee, we've made $1 million. Hey, last but not least, Ken Loose from Nancy is how I'm going to say that, like a redneck. He's unambitious. That's the problem. But he's a wonder kid, my friends, and he's worth 17 and a quarter. Now, I told him I'd loan him out, but I think we're going to keep him. I have my reasons. He's listed for loan, and we do have an offer, or we did. Okay, I must have said no. We did have an offer for like 220 grand a month. But I'm worried about the unambitious, and I want it. What is happening? I guess I'm clicking, and it's just not registering. I want to keep him around the squad and get him some mentoring, see if we can fix the personality and get him some exposure. Now, the problem is he is definitely more of a ball-winning midfielder than an attacking like a central midfielder, an attack, or a deep line playmaker, right? You come up here, his passing's not great. Like, he's more of the enforcer. So here's my thinking. He could play a defend, but he's at home as a ball-winning midfielder or as a DM, right? That's kind of home base. But he can also cover right back. Why do we need that? He can also cover center back. Would help. Like, so he's on an important player contract. That's the only problem. Like, I think we may run into problems with him being upset about game time. So I gotta have to figure that out. But we got the 3-4-3 here. He could play in the midfield, right? He's technically better than Jallo, but in a different role, right? Like, Jallo's definitely got the playmaking ability, but if we need to bring him in or have him start as a central midfielder on defend, right? Like, maybe we try playing around with that. Or my friends, not this, play a 4-3-3. Because I've been thinking about playing a 4-3-3 where we keep the wingers, but we're a little more defensive, and having that DM slot, maybe that helps us out. Obviously, this would parlay into like playing a 4-1-4-1 against teams that have weaknesses against that. I'd love to know your thoughts on that, because that's kind of where my head was. I thought we would get rid of Jallo, but no one's come in for him because he's on such high wages. So we're keeping him around for now. I'm honestly hoping Jallo has like a really good Champions League group stage and gets some bites, and then we can offload it from a wage standpoint. That's the dream. It's kind of like long term, right? He's fallen down the pecking order. He's now third behind Angelino Viviani, and I mean, Ken is right behind him. So it's not that I don't love Jallo. I do. It's just like, mate, you're making a ton of money, and you kind of have fallen off a little bit, right? And somebody is going like, remember I left you a comment when you first bought him and you gave him a huge raise, or maybe not when you first bought him, but like whenever one of his raises wasn't here, where I was like, and we gave him everything in the farm. And it was like, wow. Yeah, I'm kind of eating that a little bit right now, because he's fallen off after this year. He's kind of fallen off from an assist standpoint. He picked up some goals, whatever. But that's kind of the plan there. So again, if we play this system, Ken doesn't start. Might be a problem. If we play this system, we could slide Viviani in here if we need to, or like that gives us that extra midfielder, so we can get game time for players. We got the Champions League group stage, so we're gonna have to have a lot of rotations, I think, because I do want to do well there. And I think depending on how that goes, we have enough time from a promises standpoint. If my math is right, it's August. There's 168 days left, which is like 5 months. September, October, November, December, January. Into the January window, we could loan him out. then, because theoretically we wouldn't need as many players in the spring. What's also kind of important about this is we have had some injuries, my friends. So good news is Colombani has just come back. We gave him a start because he was only good for 45 minutes. We gave him a start. He's a 7.6 with a goal. I mean, it was against low competition, but like he was at 37% match sharpness. He's up to 52%. We've kept Baltadano because I wasn't sure if we were going to use Baltadano or use the guy we loaned out. But since we were able to get him that loan, we're keeping Baltadano. Philadelphia came in for him, but if we do that, my understanding is he would lose this 875 days left, so we need to keep him in Italy. So he's going to be, unfortunately, we're trying to keep him around the squad, like work on the mentals, part of the squad, give him, a couple appearances, whatever, but see if he can use our training facilities, even though he's at Serie C level, and see what happens. He may just end up going on a free. But, my friends, Andreasen broke his ribs in the middle of the summer. He's been out 4 weeks. He's going to be out another 4. So that's a good thing that we have Viviani. And also, Ken can play center back if we need him to. Like we got some, I like the Swiss Army knife thing. Giroud is out now with broken ribs. What is with the broken ribs? Do we need to take some whatever the calcium supplements are? He's going to be out another 6 weeks after 3 weeks. Goodness me. So that means Grandi's taking over on the right. Guess what? Ken could play right back. Not right wing back, but right back. So we could play that 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 or something like that. And we had called up players for we did our training camp was in the US. It gave us the option of Singapore, US. I was like, marketing. We got Viviani. We're going to the US, right? Just like with Christian Pulisic, you want to do your stuff in the US and get all those fans to come out. He's got a damaged foot for 2 weeks. So as part of young lad, right? 16, 5'9" center back. We need to give him some growth supplements to get his height going, but he has some potential. So, we just called some players up, get them involved. We were able to get Haas's loan extended and go from 30% wages to 40%, which doesn't really help, but it goes from 11 grand to 15 grand. So it's 4 grand more. It helps out a little bit. Nobody wanted him. No one's coming in. His value is going to fall off a cliff. He's going to literally fall apart while at St. Gallen, is what it is, my friends. And the rest of these are just players to come up to kind of fill out the squad from a youth standpoint, but we're keeping them available for the under 20 or under 18 squads. This kid looks pretty good. Sambaso, 6'4". He's technically better than Montana, which is a little interesting. Because here's Montana at 6'6", determination dropping like a rock. But we're trying to give them because we have some injuries, some being Andreessen, it gives us an opportunity to maybe give them a couple appearances, keep them around the senior team from a mentoring standpoint. Same thing, Christian Messina comes up because we loaned out Bacali. He can cover the left wing. He'll probably go back down after the start of the season because we now have Serge and Colombani that can play left wing and kind of get back to that. But we got to get Colombani back up on his feet, right? That's how we're lining up, my friends. I know that's a lot. I'm really curious what your thoughts are. Because I feel I'm torn on Ken. Should we have loaned him? But this is where we're at. Look at this. Inter, Juve, rival, right? Champions League group stage 4 days later. Pisa, Napoli, Empoli. So this isn't so bad. Napoli's the roughest of those. Sassuolo, Roma, Milan. This is a tough run in here. So that was my thinking is hey, we're going to have to apparently play. All right, that's in January. We're going to have these group stages. We're going to have some rotation we need to do. Keep everybody fresh. Off we go. I'm going to extend it now. I'm going to go play some games and bring you back for the Champions League group stage draw. And then that'll be the end of the episode. We won our first game against Sampdoria 2-0. Angelini with super laser beam, you might call it. I'm going to show that to you here in a minute. After this game, I'm live. I'm not live recording. I'm live playing this game right here against Lazio. Also, Joel got his first goal. Also, pretty nice one. I'll show you that. I want to show you. I've done this in the first 2 games, and I'm not saying we're going to win this one necessarily, but it seems to be working. And I want to show you what happened here. Okay, the opposition instructions. I'm marking their fullbacks, wingbacks, and I'm pressing one of their center backs with the idea of forcing the ball to this guy. Why? He's an 8 on dribbling, 9 on first touch, 8 on passing. You know, he's got good mentals, so it's not like I think we're going to scare him, but like of the players they have in the back, I want Saeed Messaoudi to have the ball, okay? Compared to, let's look at the wingbacks or fullbacks, whichever, right? 15 dribbling, 12 passing, 11 first touch. Definitely good with the ball at his feet. 8 Nuri, maybe? Okay. 11 dribbling, 14 passing. Still, really like solid player overall. And then Modibo Sagnan, 6 dribbling, 13 passing, but I think, like, so it's like, we don't want to give him, of the two, I'm okay if the ball gets to him and he has to pass because we're running at him, is my thinking. To get it to the guy who's bad passing and dribbling, Saeed here, okay? So let me show you this goal. We literally just scored. I had to wait to see who played, okay? Or who was going to start for them, and then I made my adjustments. So let's watch the build-up here. Grandi cuts inside, Luz, Angelini, Alonso heads it down, goalkeeper's got it. Now let's watch, okay? This is the guy we want to have the ball. These are the folks that we are, I think this is the one we're closing down, and these are the ones we're tightly marking, I think is how it's working. Watch this. So we're in the vicinity on these guys. We're close to them. Colombani's like, hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? And so he throws it. Now, that could be a goalkeeper mistake, right? He could have maybe thrown it here to the outside, but at least we're in the vicinity. This guy's open. We're giving this guy the ball. Watch this. Boom. Now we're closing him down, and he just panics. From that, Grandi gets it back. Again, I'm not saying like it's going to work every time, but like we gave ourselves a chance there. Serge does his thing with his head, and we score a goal. What do you think? GHG does tactics? Let me know. We get 15.24 million for reaching the group stage. What does that do to our projection, my friends? It helps. This looks a little bit better. I am going to show you those goals, but I'm trying to get to the group stage draw. It worked against Inter. We beat them 3-0. They had a man sent off for 2 yellow cards, but I don't think that was why we won. I think that first goal, maybe we frustrated them, I don't know, but that the one we wanted to have the ball ended up on a 6.4. What are you talking about? Oh, Marco Viviani. We got 2 Vivianis. Are they related? Are they related? Is he called brother? No. Maybe it's a common name. But it was quite good. Let's go for the draw, and then I'll show you I just think those 2 goals at the beginning of our first game against Sampdoria was quite tasty. Let's see where we are. Napoli is in the first bucket on a 93.0. Not bad. And then it drops to 48 with Gink. Wowzers. Roma's on a wait a minute. That's interesting. Roma on a 92. I don't hear the double garage doors happening. Yeah. What? Did I miss us? Okay, there we are. We're bottom of the 3rd bucket on a 53. We're from a coefficient standpoint, we're better than all the fourth bucket teams. And none of the first, and Genk. So, from this standpoint, we want to get Genk. We want to be in Genk's group. Genk's group, please. With Sporting, please. That'd be great. Thank you. Let's go here. All right. Genk and Atletico Madrid. That'd be all right. That'd be all right. Let's go. Oh, Real Madrid, Benfica. Oh, yeah. And Bournemouth. Bournemouth making the Champions League. They finished in 2nd. My goodness, they're pretty good. I think that's a tough group, my friends. Benfica doing Benfica things. Real Madrid doing Real Madrid-ish things. You know, that's a tough group, I think. Maybe they got lucky. Maybe this is their first, the 9th to 2nd. Maybe this is their first time playing in continental competition, and they're not set up for it. Although you could argue they are tied at top of the table in the first 3 games. Goodness, how did they pull that off? 77 points. Man United on 96. Liverpool on 69 points. And 6th place. Arsenal, Man City, as you do. As you do. Let's go look at those goals. All right. Angelini, 68th minute, my friends. Klug has been apprehensive or nervous in both games because I think he's like, why am I starting? I don't know. Okay. Grandi. Watch this. Laser beam. Watch it. Watch it. Look at this. Lays it off. I mean, that is a a thunder bee is somebody left a comment a long time ago with that. And I thought it was a great way of calling it. Not gonna say the whole thing. Grandi plays for Joel. I mean, that's 3/4 of a laser beam. All right, my friends. If you've enjoyed that episode, hit the like button. Oh, let's get the calendar sorted out. Where are we going? Where are we going? Play Inter Milano next in the league. They're top of the table. I think we're gonna be doing well and finish in 3rd. To be completely honest with you, so hopefully we can make that run. We take on. We'll do Madrid and Bournemouth next. That'll be the next episode, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you're doing well, you're staying healthy, and all that kind of stuff. We'll see you next time. Let's go.